It's challenging to work in a company that's owned by your parents. Being an intrapreneur in a company that's not are people who don't know you. The approach is extremely different, and while it has its perks, it also has its disadvantage. Nobody's got it easy. It's just some people have got it a little bit more easier than the others, but nobody in this world who is doing whatever they are doing have got it easy. Everybody has their own challenges. And working in a company that belongs to your parents, there is obviously many moments where you're not accepted or respected or taken seriously, primarily because MD की बेटी है. Nobody says it, but you know what? I'm not stupid. I get it. ऐसा बहुत बार हुआ है कि मुझे भी काफी लोगों ने बोला है कि क्या कंटेंट बना रहे हो, Netflix देखो क्या बना रहा है, Prime देखो क्या बना रहा है, Hotstar देखो क्या बना रहा है, आप क्या बना रहे हो. एंड ये मैंने सीखा है, एंड ये मैं सबको बोलती हूँ. The business of a business is to do business, right? And our creative head puts it very nicely that we are not just in the business of making content, but we have to make content that sells. Being an entrepreneur is very challenging. It's very difficult. I couldn't even begin to think the kind of stress, a lot of people go into. And I know that, the young entrepreneurs in the last decade, whoever have come up, a lot of people think, oh, he just made this and uska evaluation बढ़ा दिया and ये हो गया. अरे easy way था. But nobody knows probably उस valuation तक एक company को लेके जाने के लिए उसको क्या क्या stress, mental stress, physical stress, so much that person would have had to go through, like literally go to the investors, door to door to ask for money, to convince people to believe in your idea. It's not easy. And I have seen so many people think we'll just start something and it's going to happen. We'll just start something and it's going to happen. Bhaiya, when your business is nothing different than what is already there in the market, it's difficult to convince people. All the businesses that have done well had the first movers advantage in the market, right? Be it Zomato, be it Zepto, be it all of them. My mantra is simply put your head down and work, and everything else will happen. People will see worth in your work, and the acceptance that you don't feel, or you don't feel that the respect is coming in and all that. People will slowly see your work, and that will change. So every time I have been lost or I have felt low, my mom has always said this, you want some clothes, I can buy you clothes. You want something else, I can buy you. But you know what I can't get you is the respect that you will probably have to earn by yourself, by your work, by what you put out there. I cannot help you in that. I cannot convince people to respect you. They will respect you for your work, for what you put out there.
In today's episode, we are meeting an amazing and inspiring soul who started her career in very young age. And more than anything, her invention, or I can say her idea, is Lisa AI, artificial intelligence anchor, AI anchor, which is so amazing. Coming from a family where you have seen two leaders, her father and mother, both are in a very reputed position. In this episode, we talked about not only artificial intelligence, we talked about the value system that she got from her parents, her family, and how she lives her life. This is a very inspiring episode where we talked about, because it comes from media and the entertainment industry, we talked about how media functions, how entertainment industry works, and you are going to enjoy and get so much inspiration from this episode. Let's start. Before we start this episode, I want to say thank you so much from bottom of my heart for being here. अगर आप यहाँ पे first time आए हैं and आपको हमारे podcast अच्छा लगे, then kindly do follow the JRS Show. And it will help me to reach more and more people, impact more and more lives, and more than this, I can bring more and more people to my show to inspire you, to help you create a better life. Thank you so much. And let's begin the show. Welcome, Litisha Mangat Panda, to the JRS Show.
Thank you, JRS.
How are you doing? How is life so far?
Life's going well, as usual, with its ups and downs. It's never an up and it's never a down. So it's a combination, but it's going well, by God's grace.
Enjoying?
Yeah, for sure. Every minute.
I recently saw an Instagram post of yours, which I wanted to talk about because I gave it a read. About your 2024 and 2025. So, obviously, वहाँ पे तो थोड़ा सा word में ही था. So, I want to ask you, how was your 2024? If you have to give 3 to 4 lessons from your life to all of us, what would that be? Any situation if you want to also.
I mean, I don't think I can give lessons to anybody. I've not seen life that much. But I think what I have had busier years before. Especially if you see 23-24 was one of the busiest or the most, there was a lot of happening in 23-24. But 24-25 was not that, sorry, I'm saying 23-24 and 24-25 because financial year, that's how it's coming to an end, financial year, that's what is happening in office. So that's what I'm saying. But the year 2023 was very busy. We launched Lisa AI, we launched a lot of new shows. There was a lot happening on the personal front, on the professional front. It was a chock-a-block year. Whereas 24-25, 24 was, I don't know, I feel it was little relaxed, but actually there was elections until June, and I think I totally lost memory of it when I was writing that post. Because the last 2-3 months were a little slow. So I probably thought that, oh, everything's so slow, maybe nothing much has happened this year.
You have written something like that. It was obviously ups and downs how we started the conversation.
Yeah.
And you are expecting the 2025 with hope.
So I'll tell you what, I have had like high highs and low lows, and and a lot of people keep telling me, why do you have to operate in like extremes? I'm either like exercising a lot or I'm just eating a lot, but I'm not doing both at the same time. I'm either working a lot or I'm not working at all. I'm just always like that. So this year it has been my commitment that no, I will be more balanced in my approach towards everything. I will try to I'll not try to set some huge goals for myself that, oh, I'm going to like, shoot up or become this or become that. I thought I'll be more disciplined, more consistent, because consistency is very, very important and I'm still learning that. So I think if I had to tell somebody what lessons, but I can just give advice or suggestions, is that while it's great to operate in high highs and low lows because it gives you a rush, I want to learn consistency and discipline and make habits as well, so that I can stay consistent. Yeah.
So, when we are moving forward to the podcast, before asking all of the questions that I have in my mind, I want to ask you, and what is your story? How did you come to this industry of media entertainment? Like, why did you think of this?
I think it was a pretty natural progression since my mom owns the company, since she started it. I think this question should be for her because I don't know why she decided out of everything to come into media and entertainment. Because before this, there was Hotel Communications as well. And then from there to here, I think it was a very natural progression. And I don't think I was really intending to join this business. I'm a software engineer and everybody thought I'll do great in tech. And nobody wanted me to join media and entertainment.
What changed?
I think at one point in time I said I want to do event management. So I want to start a company and do event management. And my dad's like, yeah, sure, okay, you want to do it. Like, start somewhere. For one, let's start with the company because there are a lot of events that happen. So why don't you get started here? But as I started working, I just stopped doing events and I went into the film production side of it. It's not film, but like the serial production side of it. And then I went into the operation side of it. And I just kept changing through the organization. I went into the research, I went into everything else. And what I realized later, 2 years later, I sat back and I thought, what have I done? Like, what is my strength? What is my expertise? And I realized what my expertise was. I saw a problem and I jumped to solve it. And that was what I really enjoyed, problem solving and strategizing and saying, okay, how can we do better? How can we do the next things? So yeah, it just happened. I did not plan for it. And now I have ended up being in the media and entertainment industry, but making use of my technology skills, which I thought I said when I graduated from my engineering college. I said I am never going to do anything in tech. I don't want it. I will do event management, and today I am nowhere close to event management. I don't intend to. I think it's a lot of hard work. In terms of physical, coordination and just managing so many things, I'd rather use my mind a lot more.
That you enjoy more.
I enjoy more. Like problem solving is using your mind more. So I enjoy that better than, going on the field.
I can totally connect. I also thought I'll be a doctor. That's why I wanted to do plus 2 science and all. After that, I thought doctor nahi hoga mere se. Nahi karna hai mere ko.
I think my family thinks I'm half doctor because I'm just reading, because I like a lot of intellectual stimulation. So I keep everything that happens. If anybody's sick in my family, I think I have Googled everything, eaten the doctor's head, gotten to the bottom of it for everything that has happened to anybody in the family. I think I've done that. And the only reason I think I did not sign up when my relatives were pushing me to is that I did not want to like open things and cut them up. No, that I can't do.
Yeah, as you said, when you keep exploring, you realize what's your strength.
And you know what? Somebody told me, sorry to interrupt, but when I was growing up, when I was really young and there was time to decide, they said, baal jhad jayenge. Because doctor में इतना पढ़ना पड़ता है,
because of that.
बाल झड़ जाएंगे, आँख के नीचे डार्क सर्कल्स आ जाएंगे, स्किन में ऐसे हो जाएगा, you will never find this, you will never do that. I was like, oh, it looks very tough. I don't want to lose my hair. So jokes aside, but it was something that people threatened me with, to not join science.
Anyways, you have taken with your choice to do event management, but then you realize, okay, this is my
I think
strength.
life takes you where it is destined to take you, no matter what you do.
And also I feel when you keep exploring and experimenting, you understand this is my strength. Want to ask you, in such early age right now where you are and what you are doing, how do you handle pressure? A lot of time, because if you are in a position, obviously leadership mein, then you get some decisions you have to take and sometimes it's tough. How do you manage and how do you handle stress?
I think I thrive under pressure. I do very well under pressure. If I am under pressure of time, I'm under pressure of taking a decision. I think if there is a crisis, I think my mind opens up more. Because what happens is when you have a lot of time, you're pondering and thinking about things that don't exist but may happen. The Murphy's Law. Is the Murphy's Law? What can go wrong will go wrong, right? If there is something that can go wrong, it will go wrong, right? So when you have a lot of time, you're thinking, oh, that can happen and that can happen and that can happen. So your decision making is skewed by a lot of situations. But when there is pressure to take a decision now, I think you're narrowing down all your logics to the goal of what this decision should bring out. So if I want to come down to a point and say ki I have to go left or I have to go right, my question is, if I go left, where am I reaching? And if I go right, where am I reaching? But doesn't matter where I go, if I'm going to reach the same place, then I might as well go with the route which is a shorter distance. Then there is another question. Oh, the distance may be shorter, but what if there is traffic? Right? So, there is no traffic, the distance is longer, but there is no traffic, so you reach sooner. So, the value of time, right, is something that is important in this goal. So, different situations will demand different goals that you need to achieve. And when you have that in mind, all logics come to align with that. If all logics are not aligned with the decision you will take, then you're probably not taking the right decision. But most of the times when you're in pressure, it's I don't know, I perform very well under pressure. Yeah, like the more time you give me, I think the more I'm taking my own sweet time to perfection it. So
So also with this question, I want to also ask you, Tarang cine production and also OTV. One is media industry, one is entertainment. Obviously, that comes along with, but again, the role is very different, entertainment and all. You are working with both of this. What will be the differentiation you are feeling as a person who is leading or organizing or managing in both of the side?
I think we are in the business of making content,
That's true.
right? Be it a newsy content or an entertainment content. Fortunately or unfortunately, maximum audience in not only in our state but in the country leans towards sports and entertainment. News is only a medium of information of what's happening in politics, in some other areas, and some people use it as a tool to educate themselves on whatever is happening generally in the country or in different areas. So what our job becomes, be it in news or in entertainment, so we have two companies, which is, one is a media company, which is Odisha Television, the other is Tarang Broadcasting, and there is Tarang Cine Productions under Tarang Broadcasting, which only produces movies. But Tarang Broadcasting is much more than that. We have broadcast content of 5 different channels: music, devotional, Alankar. Now what my mom and the managing director, they did is, they saw the need for content for people, be it in music or be it in devotional. So if you look at our portfolio, we have something for every audience, every age group, every gender, throughout, be it Tarang Plus OTT, be it OTV Digital, be it Odisha Reporter, be it Tarang TV, which is, mostly for women. Tarang Music is again for youngsters, and Alankar is Jatra content, only movies content.
Sorry to interrupt, just to ask here, how do you guys manage, because it's a diverse thing,
We have a huge team. And we have an amazing senior management team at our group, at our network, who do a fabulous job. I am not doing it all, and my mom's not doing it all. I think the major credit goes to the people who are running these channels, the people who are, behind the scenes, getting, say, doing the sales or creating the content, or, coming up with more ideas and how we can do better, what we can do better, and not treating it as just a mere job, but, something that they own themselves. And that has always been the culture in our organization, and I think that is one reason why it thrives, is because the people in the senior management, they take their roles so seriously, and they think of the company as their own, and they operate. So it's not easy, and let me tell you, it's not easy to even find people who can treat your baby like their own baby, right? And touchwood, we're very fortunate to have an amazing team at our company. So, and Prarthana, like I was saying, is for, the more elderly people. So we've not left out anybody. A lot of time people say, oh, but yahan se to, they don't spend, so why should we do it? But no, our vision, especially our MD's vision, was very, very clear, that we want to create content for everybody, right? Everybody should be able to come to one platform and be able to get whatever they want in one place, and high quality content. We don't mean to say we want to create just content for the sake of content, but content that people will enjoy watching, news content that people can trust, so
Yeah, talking about that, as you said, I want to ask you, if you see OTT platforms, I'm not talking about only ODI industry, I'm talking about like all over. Still, I don't know if you will agree with me or not, this is my perspective of seeing it. We are not in that level when it comes to OTT platform, in the sense, a lot of people are not watching the way we are consuming Hindi and English and other things. What do you think the reason behind it, and what's your idea, like आपने कुछ सोचा होगा how you can enhance on that part?
तो मैं थोड़ा सा इसको ब्रेक डाउन करूँगी.
Please.
ऐसा बहुत बार हुआ है कि मुझे भी काफ़ी लोगों ने बोला है कि क्या कंटेंट बना रहे हो, नेटफ्लिक्स देखो क्या बना रहा है, प्राइम देखो क्या बना रहा है, हॉटस्टार देखो क्या बना रहा है, आप क्या बना रहे हो? एंड ये मैंने सीखा है एंड ये मैं सबको बोलती हूँ, द बिजनेस ऑफ अ बिजनेस इज टू डू बिजनेस, राइट? And our creative head puts it very nicely that we are not just in the business of making content, but we have to make content that sells.
That makes money.
Right? Otherwise, why are we doing business? Now, when you come to OTT, let me break it down. We have people who have had the taste of watching content which is supremely produced, very well done, lots of money is pumped into it by these big platforms like say Hotstar, Disney, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Sony. They have huge pockets and they put in a lot of money behind producing a good piece of content. And when they put in that money and they put it out on their platforms, लोग देखते हैं and वो जो investment है उसका return आता है through subscriptions, through ads or whatever way.
Yeah.
In Odisha, unfortunately, इतना डिमांड नहीं है. अगर आज के डेट में मैं उस लेवल का कंटेंट प्रोड्यूस करूंगी, उतना पैसा खर्चा करके, मेरा तो लैंग्वेज बैरियर है, फिर भी ओनली ओडिया ऑडियंस विल वॉच. एंड if it's you who has already watched something like a Netflix, you will not even consider that I may have done a good job at it. Yeah. Your mind will never come to me. Yeah. So I am technically catering to audience who believes in this very strong cultural Odia content which they get to relate in daily life. Right? I give you another statistics. All of Odisha has 100 theatres, less in fact after COVID. Let me give you a parallel. Vizag as a city has 100 theatres. We as a state have 100 theatres and they as a city have 100 theatres. So today I will invest and make a very good movie. I don't have enough theatres to release it in and I don't have enough people to watch and give me back that box office returns.
Okay, just to add into this, if you see Telugu movie industry, they make their language movie and we love their movie. Yeah. We also watch. Yeah. So, like, have you ever thought of this? अगर उनके content इतने consumption हो रहा है all over India, I mean not only their state, when it comes to us, why can't we reach to that pan-India level? Or what barrier you feel is stopping? And also you said about Odisha, you said कि अगर मैंने Netflix देखा हुआ है, obviously the level of content I've seen, अगर आपने काम किया भी है, जब तक मुझे वो conviction, जैसे कि अभी कुछ movies ऐसे आया and we really did good after so long, so I again started watching Odia movie, that one hit. So that is my point. अगर मुझे content के ऊपर थोड़ा सा faith आएगा and वो थोड़ा सा faith के लिए मुझे movie देखना पड़ेगा. That's what I was asking. Yeah, what do you think about it? About the...
See, I was born and brought up in Hyderabad, so I also know Telugu very well. And I'll tell you, Telugu people, they're very passionate about watching movies. They are very passionate about movies. They will not look at us and say, "Arey, this is unreal. Hatao isko."
Yeah.
They will not look at a fight scene where one person is kicking 4 people into the air. Yeah. They're going to whistle at that. Yeah. It is a strong passion that they have towards movies. It's almost like a cult. I don't see that kind of here. And maybe there are other states, but I don't have so much reference. I only, because I was born and brought up in Hyderabad and I have been working in this industry and living in Odisha for long, so I can only compare these two. And I know, I have been there, I have seen movies, be it Pawan Kalyan or Mahesh Babu, and it's crazy. Yeah. The kind of craze they have for movies, the kind of craze they have for actors. For them, actors are God. That's how they treat them. I don't see that kind of craze in Odisha. For whatever reason, I've not explored, I've not tried to find out. And what happens is when you're doing great movies, and Tarang has been the only production house that has done a lot of movies, at least before pandemic.
Yeah.
During pandemic, we switched to doing telefilms, which is a little less of a budget, but good stories which can be played.
Can you just differentiate telefilms and normal
So
films?
telefilms don't release in theaters,
Okay.
right? And they are of a smaller budget than what a normal movie would be,
Yeah.
which would release in a theater. And why we did that is, after COVID, we took a conscious decision and we thought that, people are not going to go to the theaters now. So whatever little we were getting, that we may not get. So as a way to move along with time, we said, okay, we will now release movies on television and our OTT platforms. So that was the decision we took to do
And did you
telefilms.
see any change with that?
You will
or
be
growth?
surprised, we produce 24 telefilms a year. So at least 2 telefilms we produce in a month and release them.
Right now also. This is
Yeah, it's been there ever since things
What is the
opened up.
consumption side of thing?
Heavy consumption. There is very heavy consumption and demand. A lot of my friends will look at it and say, what kind of a content are you making? I said, do you want to see the numbers? How much people are watching? How much people are interested in watching it? So, a lot of people have a very shallow understanding of the content industry in Odisha. They think, and a Kantara has made headlines once. There's so many regional content that is great, that is superb, but they don't make the headlines.
And people don't know about the movies also. They're so
Correct.
only see the movies that are very famous or people are talking about
Good
that.
marketing, yeah.
But if you go to regional movies, I have seen very rare. I'm not a person who get a lot of time to watch, but whenever I've seen movies actually with so much cultural values, a lot of beautiful story. And I'm a person of story. That's why the and you bring. So I understand what you and good to know that the consumption is also very good.
There is consumption, and I'm telling you, Odia people relate to their culture very, very much. So if I offered them any other language movie and I offered them an Odia movie to watch, which had so many cultural significances, I'm telling you, hands down, they would pick the Odia movie.
Also, just to add on to this consumption part, urban and rural, what is the differentiation you are seeing when it comes to consumption?
Consumption on my digital platforms and on my television will definitely. So news is urban heavy, and rural is also quite a significant number. We are number one, so I think we do have most audiences with us. When it comes to entertainment, our rural base is high, significantly high in digital as well. So we do have a significant amount of people watching from, say, Bhubaneswar, Kolkata, and the NROs living outside India. But mostly there is a lot of consumption from within Odisha, from the rural belts, who are watching not only TV but all digital platforms. Digital penetration is there.
So we were talking about your journey and entrepreneurship. Me being into this industry 3 to 4 years, I feel starting journey of entrepreneur, it's actually difficult. आपके लिए कैसा था ये journey?
So I don't call myself an entrepreneur.
You call yourself, I've seen in Instagram.
Because it does not have an option of calling yourself an intrapreneur. So this is a petition to Instagram and Facebook and all other social media channels. There is a profile called intrapreneur. So
Explain please.
Okay. Being an entrepreneur is definitely not easy. The opportunities from when our grandfathers had started were much more than today. It's become a more competitive world. And if there is this thing that my dad keeps telling me, and he's always put this in perspective. Jack Welch has these 6 or 7 rules. If you don't have a competitive advantage, don't compete, right? And if I have this product in the market already, but this product is missing something, there is a gap in the market, and if you think your business can address it, then do the business. Otherwise, I think Largely, this is the principle. I know there are brands that have been successful that have done without it also. They have been more disruptive, they have been more passionate, more aggressive towards what they were doing. Yeah. So as a competition. But when it comes to intrapreneurship, lot of large organizations, say Tata, right? They want younger people come into the organization and work like it's their organization, have that freedom of work, and be an entrepreneur at the company's cost. So that what happens is when you're an entrepreneur, you're not just able to focus on the product, but you have to think about investors, you have to think about the product, you have to think about the research, you have to think about paying the salaries, you have to think about your bank account, you have to think about so many things. And what happens in this whole thing is that, sometimes you struggle with looking at what the product needs. That's why an entrepreneurship journey is very difficult. If people think that there's a shortcut to becoming an entrepreneur, I'm sorry, there is not. Right? I don't even have the guts to attempt it. Right? Unless I really find an idea that is very clear that there is a gap in the market and this business idea is going to address it, and or if you are able to give me a USP that's not already there in the market, if there's no competitive, if there is a competitive advantage that you will have, then I'm happy to look at that idea. But if any idea does not meet these two basic needs, I don't think I want to waste my time in it. What am I going to do? I'm not cut out for it. That is one. And I say intrapreneur, it's exactly that I am able to so passionately build so many products for my organization. I have so much freedom to work and do a lot of other things like an entrepreneur, but not at my own cost, at the cost of the company. And there are many people who are interested in wanting people like that, who are intrapreneurs. There's a higher demand for intrapreneurs today because we have so many legacy organizations, big organizations that are looking for disruption, that are looking for younger people to come in and run the companies, or at least verticals of the companies like it's their own. And trust me, I think I will have a problem if I went and worked somewhere else, because it's not only about the financial benefit or this or that, but what I really enjoy about my job is the kind of freedom I get, right, to explore, to work, have my own team, and just deliver. That is something I feel is enjoyable for me. So if there was an intrapreneur word, I would definitely put it out there. Since it is not there, I put entrepreneur. But being an entrepreneur is very challenging. It's very difficult. It takes a lot. Yeah, I couldn't even begin to think the kind of stress a lot of people go into. And I know that the young entrepreneurs in the last decade, whoever have come up, a lot of people think, oh, he just made this and uska evaluation बढ़ा दिया and ये हो गया, अरे easy way था. But nobody knows probably उस valuation तक एक company को लेके जाने के लिए उसको क्या क्या stress, mental stress, physical stress, so much that person would have had to go through, literally go to the investors, door to door to ask for money, to convince people to believe in your idea. It's not easy. And I have seen so many people think, we'll just start something and it's going to happen. We'll just start something and it's going to happen. Bhaiya, when your business is nothing different than what is already there in the market, it's difficult to convince people. All the businesses that have done well had the first movers advantage in the market, right? Be it Zomato, be it Zepto, be it all of them. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say, that I am better off being an entrepreneur until I find an idea that can address a gap that's there in the market.
Yeah, two things I'll point out what you have said. One thing is very beautifully touched my heart, which I also feel when I was working with people also. That work freedom you are talking about, it's very surprising and happy to know that you think like that and the company is functioning like this. For me, it's very happy to know, because I also feel if I'm into content space and I'm working with you, if I don't get the freedom to work, then I cannot explore my creativity.
Yeah.
And whatever you will say, I will only deliver that. And the growth will not happen because I cannot use my creativity. 100%. That is first thing, that you treat my baby as your baby.
Yes.
Because I call the JRS Show is my baby.
Yes.
I didn't start it in the initial time. I didn't start it to make money. But obviously, ultimately, it is going to happen.
The goal is to make money.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it is my baby. This is what I say. The first thing. Second thing, you talked about the market gap. Either you come with something like what I have seen like, people like Raj Samani and all of these things, talking with them and seeing the crorepatis always meeting them. But I have seen one thing is what you said, obviously market gap. You come and you share your idea and you boom.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you are coming with the same thing that already existing, you have to commit in a such a way. Either you are making the span of time, मान लो Zomato 10 मिनट में डिलीवर कर रहा है, मैं 5 मिनट में कर रहा हूँ, then maybe you will get an advantage.
Differentiation.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a very nice point. Also, I want to ask, any specific moment in your career that you felt so proud of yourself, that is one thing, of doing what you have done, or any specific moment where you felt lost कि नहीं होगा मेरे से? You want to share with all of us, how was that? Because I feel stories are very powerful, and if your story can connect with others, that will create an impact.
I feel very proud of the organization I'm working for. I feel very proud of the achievements that the organization makes. I'm very emotionally attached. I don't know. I think I'm somebody who's very hard on myself, who likes to be critical of myself. So I cannot recollect a time when I can say ki, okay, I'm very proud of myself. I think I have a long way to go to then sit back and say ki, okay, I've, like at least a little bit I've come or whatever. Yeah, I think my parents are also like that. You have never arrived. It's a journey. It's not a destination. And feeling lost is many times. I think it's challenging to work in a company that's owned by your parents, vis-a-vis being an entrepreneur in a company that's not people who don't know you. The approach is extremely different, and while it has its perks, it also has its disadvantage. So nobody's got it easy. Nobody. Even it's just some people have got it a little bit more easier than the others, but nobody in this world who is doing whatever they are doing have got it easy. Everybody has their own challenges. And working in a company that belongs to your parents, there is obviously many moments where you're not accepted or respected or taken seriously. One, because of whatever your age and your whatever gender, and but primarily because MD ki beti hai, right? Nobody says it.
You said it.
Yeah.
People feel it maybe.
Nobody says it, but you know what? I'm not stupid. I get it.
Yeah.
Right? Well, it's not like that anymore, because I'll tell you what. There is always this thing. No matter how much you've achieved in life or you've not achieved in life, if you're just starting out, everywhere, every time you have to prove yourself.
You will get judged.
Yes. No, but you have to prove yourself. Yeah. So my mantra is simply put your head down and work, and everything else will happen. People will see worth in your work, and the acceptance that you don't feel, or that you don't feel that the respect is coming in and all that, people will slowly see your work, and that will change. So every time I have been lost or I have felt low, my mom has always said this, that I cannot get you. I can, you want some clothes, I can buy you clothes. You want something else, I can buy you. But you know what I can't get you is the respect that you will probably have to earn by yourself, by your work, by what you put out there. I cannot help you in that. I cannot convince people to respect you. They will respect you for your work, for what you put out there. So, yeah. So it's challenging, but I think challenges are for everybody. It's just different challenges for different people.
You brought your parents. I was going to ask about them. I feel you come from a family where already leaders are there, be it ma'am, be it sir, in their respective field, whatever they are doing. Growing up, if you have to share some lessons that deeply impacted you from your parents, other than obviously they are your parents, the growth and everything that anyways happen, but majorly you have observed some things in sir and some things in ma'am that you feel really impacted you as a person and obviously helping you.
One thing is their commitment to working, the hard work they put into whatever they do. I have seen them at this age also. They're working very hard. They're working very, very, very hard. And so that tells me there is no shortcut to success, and that they have instilled in me very, very, very strongly. Second thing, when I joined the business early on, my mother told me one thing. She said, don't ever think the salutes and the respect you're getting here is always going to be there. Currently you're getting it because of your position, but be the human where with or without the position you will still get that respect. Very, very important thing to be grounded. Like, she has always kept me very grounded. Third thing is, and this is what my dad says, you don't have to do anything. There are only two things you have to do in life. Is one, you have to live until death comes, and when death comes, you have to die. There are only two have tos in life. You don't want to eat, don't eat. You don't want to do, don't do it. So whatever you do, you should do it because you want to do it, not because you're having to do it. Because when you work because you have to work, you will never succeed. You should put your heart, mind, body, soul, everything into what you love doing. Everything else will follow. I see a lot of people come, oh, salary पहले चाहिए, काम बाद में करेंगे. ओ मेरा एक काम बढ़ गया, मेरा सैलरी इतना बढ़ा दो. या फिर ओ मैंने तो ये किया तो मेरा. बट अगर आप काम ही इतना अच्छा करोगे, anybody will bend backwards to keep you, and money will come, don't think about it. And a lot of people think, oh, it's easy sitting there, you're saying that. But no, it's true. When I was in college, my event management journey, which I talk about, it started by doing pro bono jobs. I did a job which was pro bono, and then from my second job did I start getting money. But if at the first job I would have gone and said, no, you give me money, otherwise I'm not working for you, they would never hire me the second time. They wanted to see my work. Once they saw my work, they're like, oh yeah, she's worth this much.
Yeah. You become that person that people will automatically pay you. You don't need to ask for it. Yeah. And also, we just recently, before some time, we talked about AI. The era is...
Sorry, one more thing I want to say.
Yes, please.
Just adding to that, it's when I was younger, I never realized it. When your parents are harsh on you, or when they're very strict with you, or when they're telling you some things that you probably don't like, you feel like they're not supporting you and they're not doing this and they're not doing it. But there is no better love than that. Even to your friends or to your colleagues or to whoever's working with you, to anybody in your life, I think telling them objectively the truth, even if it is harsh, is going to help them and take them way ahead in life. I think if they did not give me feedback from time to time about everything that I do, I don't think I would have progressed as a professional or as a human being in my life. And I think there's a long way to go, but it's a progress.
Also, but we talked about, I asked you about your young age and doing so much because of the value system and the upbringing and the lesson that you have learned, and you talked about being harsh. Same thing I felt, I want to do something and they're not understanding it. But after, what I have done, I realized that my dad used to say me after my 10th that you go and fill your own form, you go and do the admission. I'm like, सबके साथ उनके parents जाते हैं, मैं छोटी सी बच्ची हूँ, and now when I see कि 20 साल में I started taking care of my family because of that, and unknowingly he did it. He did it because he wanted me to be responsible enough. But automatically it made me a very different person. What you said very beautifully, and then I realized, okay, and पापा ने वो मेरे दोनों भैया के साथ नहीं किया, and differentiation is I'm much responsible, and they're like कि यार ठीक है, लाइफ तो है, करेंगे, and that is the differentiation. What you said, it's very true.
So my dad also makes fun of me sometimes, and I come and back, this happened and that happened, and I'm thinking I'll do this and I'm do that. He said, oh, but I thought you wanted to open an event management company. He jokes, but yeah, I think.
And I was just saying this, then you said this about AI. We talked about, if you see the revolution, or I'll say the change that has happened from 2000 to 2025 of the era, starting from digital era का entry जब हुआ, या जहाँ पे Siri and other things came into mobile industry का थोड़ा सा change, and then AI का starting era, now AI is everywhere. And talking about Lisa, you want to talk about it? What is this all about?
Yeah, Lisa is my better half, and I really love Lisa. I probably will end up with her for the rest of my life.
Lisa की entry कैसे हुई?
Lisa was an idea between three people, which is my mom, our then CRO, Darpan, and me. We sat there and we said, and at that point of time, Aaj Tak had launched their AI anchor. And we said, yeah, they have to done it, but what can we do? So most anchors, AI anchors that you see, they're animated 3D AI anchors. Lisa, why Lisa did so well, it's very important to understand.
Looks like human.
Exactly. It is a meta-human AI anchor.
Yeah, it feels connecting.
Correct. So what really took the world by surprise was how real it looked, or how real it,
For the first time I saw it in your social media, I thought it's you.
It's okay. So I will say this: the human that was used to create this meta-human AI anchor was me. So I had to shoot for Lisa, and that is why it looks so real. Modified a certain features, etc., and that's what it is. And we just wanted to do something different. We're constantly, as an organization, we're also constantly thinking, okay, what next? What next? And I think this thought process has kept us number one.
And this is what, इतने सालों से अगर उड़ीसा में OTV is leading, and कितने भी न्यूज चैनल आ जाए, OTV के बारे में लोगों को पता है, and people know what is the worth of.
We are always at the forefront of what's next. We are always thinking what's next, and I think that has only kept us number one. We've not sat and become complacent and said, okay, we're number one now, let's now done, right? That thought has never come. Especially, I think it's my mother, and that's what she's instilled in me and everybody else, and that's why none of us sit quiet. None of us are like, okay, we're done. No, we're all like, what next? So every time I think, okay, I've done it all in OTV, the minute that happens, it's like, oh no, there is something else to do. Oh no, there is something else to do. So it's like a candy land. There's always something to do next. And I think we're one of the rarest companies that encourage so much innovation. Even compared to national channels, I think we're almost equal to them. We may be a regional channel, but we operate like a national channel.
And you don't know when what is going to, get that hype, and what is going to be boom. How you said about Lisa, you never know. So you keep experimenting.
The goal is only to keep doing better than what we were doing yesterday. How can we be better than yesterday? How can we make it better? What can we do better? In all terms, in terms of learning, in terms of technology, in terms of content, in terms of everything. We want to keep up with the changing times.
Talking about AI, a lot of people are thinking also that AI is going to, take our jobs. This is a very famous line everybody keeps saying, if AI is, what do you think about it? Also, there is
Before computer was invented, then when computer was invented also people thought computer will take his job.
Yeah.
But did it? It's not that simple. AI, computers, phones, etc. Everything is here to help us, assist us in what we are doing to do better.
Yeah.
There can be no replacement for human mind.
Human touch, human
Even like I said, no matter how real Lisa looks, there's still a lack of human emotion in her conversation. Not only Lisa, but all the AI anchors you see today. Hype tha, but फिर yeah. So AI Lisa का जो face है, जो front है, it was only one part of the whole AI initiative we had started. It was more about how can we automate our mundane tasks, editing or graphics, or just make templates. How can we make it easier so that people can focus more on creativity than on just operational things that you have to do every day. That was our goal. The face of Lisa is a byproduct of it. And actually it was also because we wanted to have an anchor that could talk about what's happening in Odisha in English. So that is why we wanted that anchor, because we were having a trouble finding anchors who can translate Odia to English and speak, because most of our anchors were so busy and packed with Odia. So we just wanted that, and that's how it came about. But AI is not going to take jobs. You have to use it to help you do better. But if you're not going to adapt with the time and the tools that are there in the market, कोई और आपसे आगे निकल जाएगा. And as a company, I would prefer that person than a person who's not moving with the time.
And we talked so much, and we'll go back to again OTV and media industry. I want to ask you, there is a perspective also. Sometimes I also feel, not always, that a lot of stories, a lot of things that needs to come out, or I feel ki people will get inspired. Or more than that, we see a lot of things like murder, rape. Obviously that's the news, that's why that's there. But we see most of that in the news rather than this. What do you think about it? That's what I feel ki ye bhi
Make content that sells.
Yeah.
So there was this one, it's not that there's only murder, rape and all of that, but murder and rape are big things, and I think they're very, very important.
No, I just highlighted two things. I'm talking about the negative side of thing and positive side of thing.
Look, I think as a media, right, our job is to highlight what's going wrong so that people in charge can make it right. You get it? Other than that, we do have initiatives that appreciate and encourage people. Like we have Prerna, where we award, recognize women, especially from the rural areas, who are doing a lot of entrepreneurial work, right? Then when you talk about certain news not highlighting or what did you say, like about appreciating people?
Not appreciating, I'm talking about positive side of news and negative side of news. You take it anything. If you
see, I think that's the point I will differ in. There is no positive or negative side of a news.
Like that's why I asked, what do you think about
yeah.
it?
So for us it's news. So we have a charter. OTV has a charter that we report, you decide. We are not giving you any opinion, and every story we will give you at least, especially when it's a speculation story, we will give you two opposing views. Okay, especially when somebody is accused. If you're accusing an ex-person, I can't only take the side of the person who's accusing that person, but I also have to take the side of the accused. And then you decide who's right, what is right. I am, as a media organization, I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm here to tell you what has happened, and it's your decision to take a call on that. Right? And now when we say to positive side of a news, negative side of the news, some stories we may, when we watch, they seem to be negative, and some stories that we watch seem to, give you evoke a positive emotion, and some evoke negative emotion. But that's the point of news. Like it has to evoke an emotion in you. because it's an information that makes you feel if it's right or wrong or positive or negative, that will make an impact in the society tomorrow.
Yeah. Also, while you are sharing this, I want to ask you, do you feel somehow, because आपने इतने दिन से same चीज़ों पे काम कर रहे हो, you are into news and OTV, obviously entertainment industry, but talking about especially news, do you feel, what do you see the future of especially OTV, or I will say Odia news? What do you see, according to you, 10 साल में what do you see the future, and do you feel there is some change that needs to be done?
Look, I think we definitely need to keep changing when it comes to the way we, not the way we report, but what we report. Like we intend to go more hyper local. We intend to want to bring as many stories as possible to the forefront about Odisha, whatever is happening in Odisha, about Odia people. I think OTV's vision has been, is been and will be to report. That will not change. It will never change. So when we say change is constant, this change is not, like, this is not. This particular thing is going to remain as is, which is we will always provide free, fair and unbiased news. 10 years later, 20 years later, 50 years later, we're all alive, not alive. We intend that the organization should provide news that is unbiased and is informative and is non-opinion based. Because our job is to address issues in the society or in our system that will only aid people. You should listen to this song that we made at our 25th anniversary called Mu Ochina. That sums up our whole thought process.
Yeah.
Like what we think. It's all about people, and it's for the people.
And to light up the mood, because we had a serious discussion, I just want to ask you, it's all about news, media, entertainment. Okay, now we'll talk about Litisha. Okay. How your day looks like. Like, how your day normally goes. In your life, how your day normally goes.
Well, I sleep every day hoping I will wake up and go to the gym. Every single day, I do hope that I will wake up early in the morning, which I do. I wake up and then I go back to sleep. That's another thing. But otherwise, my day is filled with usually working, being at work, interacting with my team, coming up with different ideas. So my day is usually packed with work, and then in the evening I go back and I love dogs. So I have 4 dogs at home right now, 2 with my mom. And so 6 in total. But I go back, I play with them, I do a little bit of training, and then I'm learning a new language on Duolingo, and I do there's a game which helps, like brain exercises game. I do that, and then I just watch some TV and go to sleep. My day is pretty simple.
Other than work, like, what do you enjoy doing, like passion wise?
Well, everything is work for me. I think I've...
Anything that excites you the most, if it's not work, other than that?
Spending time with my grandparents and parents. Like, I love having a good chat with them. Just sitting and like spending some family time. I love it. I absolutely love that. Other than that, I don't know. I have been told that I need to develop more hobbies. Yeah, I'll work on it.
What do you think about work-life balance? Again, before we go towards that, abhi aapko bhi pata hai the troll that is going on in social media about that, Narayan Murthy said about 70-hour work that you need to do. Then someone else said 90-hour. Like, what do you think? Why I'm asking you this, you being in a position where you are also looking into people, because other than work, as you said, you love to spend time with family, and I love to travel. People are there who loves doing different things. So what do you think about having your work-life balance, or how should it should go like?
See, if I want to work 70 hours a week or I want to work 90 hours a week, I should work. I must work.
It's a choice of yours, no?
But I cannot ask you to work 70 hours or 90 hours a week. I cannot push you to do that, right? It's a personal choice. Because everybody has a different ambition, everybody has a different goal. Everybody has a different interest in their life. I'll tell you one instance from a book called Your Next 5 Moves by Patrick Bet-David. In that he says, I had a colleague and a friend who said, I want to earn this much and I want to be a good father, right? And when you want to do that, there's nothing wrong in it. That's your goal, that's your ambition. You want to be there for your children, you want to be a good father, and you want to do X, Y, you want to be there for your wife. So working 70 hour or 90 hour a week is not for him. He wants to be a decent professional and be an absolutely amazing father. So he should be in a job that allows him to do that. But somebody like the author, he said, I wanted to really be successful. And I couldn't have had a partner who would say, oh, you're not giving me time. Right? Because that goes against his ambition. So it's very important also at that point in time to choose a partner who understands your ambitions and goals and the need to work that much or give your work that priority. So if I want to, for myself, I don't believe in work-life balance, but never a day in my career have I told anybody in my team that, hey, you cannot, like you need to come, right? In fact, after I have joined, my team gets 5 days work and Saturday, Sundays off for them. But they know that if there is any requirement at any point of time, wherever they are, they'll be there. Yeah. Right? But we went from a 5.5 day week to being a 5 day week for my team because I wanted them to come back on a Monday, fully recharged and fully focused on the work they're doing. Right? And not be like, oh, because I didn't get time on the weekend, I did not buy groceries, oh, I did not take my kid to get a shoe, or I did not do that, or I don't want them distracted throughout the week. You know, for me, even if you work limited number of hours but put in your 100% and work, finish it and then do whatever. Yeah. But if I'm not going to give them that space, everybody is not privileged. Everybody does not have people doing chores for you. You know, so I don't think it's one size fits all. सब काम करो, मेहनत करो, मेहनत करना चाहिए, कोई मना नहीं कर रहा है. बट अगर किसी का डिज़ायर नहीं है उस लेवल पे पहुंचने का, बट उसका डिज़ायर कुछ और करने का है, तो उसको उस तरफ मेहनत करनी चाहिए. सो आई डोंट हैव वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस. आई डोंट बिलीव इन वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस, बट फॉर माई सेल्फ, बिकॉज आई थिंक आई कैन मैनेज. बट I always give that option to the team that whatever time you give at work, you should give your 100%. Yeah. Like Tata Play's CEO, Harit Nagpal. I met him in Mumbai this one time and we were having a conversation. I said, oh, your office is, pretty much like not many people in the office. He says, look, I don't care if people come to office. I don't care if people are in the office. Everybody has a set of to-dos. They do it in 2 hours or they do it in 12 hours. It's their call.
Freedom, yeah.
At the end of the day, the work is happening. That is all it matters. But when the work is not happening, then I will want to call them and be like, nahi bhaiya, kaam karo. But if that's not the case, then, So that was a great insight. And I think that's how it should be. Like, I can't force you to work. Yeah. But obviously in this like moonlighting and all has come into place, which I think is absolute no-no for integrity. If you're working and committed for an organization, you must be committed and not cheat or do moonlighting. It's not fair.
Yeah. That's obviously part of it, but you pointed out very beautifully that, the freedom. You do it in 2 hours, you do it in 12 hours. The work needs to be done on the deadline time, whatever is there. And also I feel when we're discussing about work-life balance, and also me as a person also don't believe, because I feel I can manage. For me, how much time I can give to my family, I will. But if there is work, I go like completely into it. That's me. But I cannot say about you. It's your choice how many.
Absolutely.
And also I feel at the same time, when you are working with me or I'm working with you or whatever it is, if I am getting my time for my traveling, for my family or whatever I want to do, so I stay happy. As you said, you come office on Monday and you're in your mind you're thinking कि grocery नहीं खरीद पाया, ये नहीं कर पाया, and you cannot work, you cannot give your 100%. So at the same time, it's very beautiful to know that you think this way, and obviously with this mindset the things are going to be grow much bigger and beautifully because
people who are ambitious and driven and want something, they will do it. They will go out and get it. I don't have to put a 90-hour, 70-hour work restriction on them. So I think whoever wants to do it will do it. Whoever will not do it. All fingers are not the same.
We talk about goal, target. This obviously as a owner or as a person who handles a team, you give that. But other than that, the way you function, I cannot, like we talk about, if I give you edit my podcast, if I tell you, okay, this is exactly what I want, you copy and paste it, you will do it. Today one of my episode is going to come out and my editor has done it, and I messaged him, I'm so proud of you because I thought of something. Me as a person, if I'm working with you and my expectation is 10 and you outperform that, I'm like, wow, ye kya ho gaya? And
you're rewarded like that.
Yeah, and this way what you have done, you played your creativity. मैंने idea दिया था, okay मुझे ये चाहिए, जैसे कि जब उषासी मैम का पॉडकास्ट एडिट हुआ, आई थॉट कि ओके थोड़ा सा न्यूज़ का मिर्च मसाला ऐड करते हैं, ये थोड़ा सा अच्छा लगेगा. एंड व्हेन माय एडिटर हैज डन दैट, उन्होंने अपना क्रिएटिविटी लगाया. एंड दैट्स व्हाट आई फील कि व्हेन योर टीम मेंबर यू गिव दैट स्पेस,
you give that freedom too,
and they played,
but they should also respect that when you give. Some people misuse it.
Guidelines, timeline, all
no,
that.
like misuse it as in like, okay, because I'm not being asked or being followed up with.
That's so wrong.
So you should not misuse it also. When somebody is giving you that freedom and that, you should also respect that and actually
The right people.
deliver on that expectation that they have entrusted you with.
In between all the hustle and everything we talked about, before we end this podcast, because I don't know kitne time humne kiya hai, jo we were doing the conversation, I don't know about the time. I just want to ask you, there is a line I always believe in, that is following your passion and doing what you love. I want to ask you, what do you think about this? Not about, I'll not go on boys and girl thing. Initially a question valid hota tha ki ladkiyon ke liye kya hona chahiye. Now to we are in a growing age. What do you think about, there is a juggle that happens. Your parents or your society says you to, being a doctor or whatever it is, and you have a passion. What do you think? Because I feel we are in a world जहाँ पे opportunities की कमी नहीं है. You are in media. You know कि कितना creative space होता है, be it editing, be it designing, be it whatever. What do you want to say about people who wants to follow their passion but struggling?
My philosophy is a little different. I say whatever you're doing, do passionately.
Be it job, be it anything.
Whatever you're doing, if you're doing something, then do it passionately. Because I have never been able to figure out what my passion is or what my this is or what my calling is, what my purpose is. In all honesty, I cannot pinpoint and say this is what it is. But one thing I know is that whatever you do, you should do it with passion. And whoever wants to follow their passion, they should first know if they're passionate about it, are they really very good at it? I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Some people feel they're very good at storytelling or writing a movie script or whatever. It's a creative job and creativity is very subjective. Now, you have to understand that you may like doing it, you may feel passionate towards doing it, but are you also good at it? Right? If I'm good at it, I should definitely follow my passion, and if I'm not good at it, I should do everything in my power to hone those skills, right? And follow my passion.
Yeah.
But I cannot be delusional about something.
Yes.
I tell my younger sibling also, I'm like, understand what you're really, if you can actually give it your all. Like sometimes you're like, oh, I want to be an actress, oh, I want to do this, oh, I want to do that. I'm like, you must do it if you're really passionate. First, you must understand, are you good at it? If you're not good at it, take a course. Do everything. Learn. Understand if you're able to actually deliver. Compete with those amazing artists out there. Right? And then follow the passion. Because if you have the passion but you don't have the skill, you will fail. And then you will be sad about it. So it's not just, oh, I'm passionate about this, I'll do it. 100%. If you're passionate about something, right, you should do it and everything else will follow. Like my dad said. But you need to be more practical about your passion. That's all I will say, because, and I don't mean to dissuade anybody. All I'm saying is, when you're passionate about something, you have to really understand if you're good at it. Because otherwise you're only going to end up hurting yourself, and you're only not going to be like, oh yeah, I can, world is not against you. Because a lot of people I've seen, they're like, oh, nobody cares, or nobody takes interest in me, I am so good. But if you're so good, people will see it. If people are not seeing it, means you need to do better.
You need to do the improvement.
Right? Say if today I will say, no, I want to be a singer, I'm very passionate about singing, I want to be a singer, I don't have the voice, what will I do? How will I be a singer and how will I be successful? I can be very passionately and all that I'll do, but the minute people will hear my song, I can do it. As a passion, I can do it, I can release my own, but then I should not align my passion with success. Because I don't have the skill or the learning or whatever, I don't have it. So I cannot put it in a more simpler way.
No, what you said, it's very true. If you have passion, build the skill. And be that person. ये totally मुझे सही नहीं लगता है कि एक concept की अगर तुम्हारे में मतलब you think कि people are not noticing you. A lot of people say कि जो content की बात आती है, obviously I talk about that creative space. लोग बोलते हैं कि competition है, ये है, वो है. I feel my mentor used to say कि be the best student in your area. Don't try to be a best teacher. If you are best student, you ultimately become a best teacher because you keep learning.
I agree. I agree. Whatever you do well. Do passionately. Yeah.
As we are ending this podcast, this is a question I ask all my speakers. It's something, it's my question. What is the one last message if you want to give to our audience? क्या होगा वो message? एक message अगर आपको देना होगा.
I would definitely say that there is no shortcut to success. And whatever you do it passionately and be committed to it, and you will see success.
Awesome. And this is so amazing. We talked more than पता नहीं कितने time हमने बात किया.
We spoke for 1.5 hours.
Yes, and that's amazing. Thank you so much again, Litisha, for being here.
Thank you so much. It was great chatting with you, and I'm very happy to see youngsters like you come out and make a path of your own, working hard towards it, single-handedly. So proud of you. Good job.
And it's an honor to have you here.